Коллеги, здравствуйте. Позвольте.
Hello, may I start our breakout session? Please take your seats, and we're going to hack the biggest transportation system in Moscow City. We're going to require just a little time for all that. We will not need any special tools provided. A smartphone, an Android NFC based smartphone will do here. I will briefly be speaking about myself. I had been implementing the automated transportation fee charging systems for 10 years. Normally that's related to the proximity cards, related to transport payments, and I've been involved in half of the projects in the country. I was the first to test NFC solutions, and I remember in 2009 applying a telephone, not a smartphone, to go through a turnstile, and the personnel there was quite shocked, not calling the police because it was an unusual solution. Transportation payments, transportation charges are not widespread. 100% they use MIFARE technology. MIFARE is a brand by NXP, and it actually combines a large number of contactless chips. The one being MIFARE Classic, of which you have heard. In 2014, this technology celebrated its 20th anniversary, so it's not a new technology. And officially it was hacked back in 2008. It was 8 years ago. MIFARE Classic solution, briefly. Sometimes people ask questions, what about the battery? There's no battery in the card, it's the battery-less chip. It's exposed to the magnetic field strong enough to power this card and provide data exchange. It has memory which supports up to 6 or 8 commands, and it's split into sectors. Each sector is made up of a few blocks by 16 bytes. The first 3 blocks for user data, the last one is to locate a 6 byte keys A and B, and either write or read only writes, etc. MIFARE Classic was hacked in 2008 by using, well, the developers used security through obscurity, a proprietary protocol. I will have to explain it briefly. So the analogy is related to the Enigma machine, how it was hacked. When we send commands, there is a reply sent there, and part of this data should be random, but they're pseudo-random, so they're quite predictable. So the students back in 2008 from Holland had re-engineered the cryptographic protocol of data exchange between the card and the reader. And we all know about the Kali Linux solution for pen testings, and it has some utilities. There are plenty of handmade utilities by Windows, and we all know who hacks and what hacks it with. You check a famous or notorious Chinese internet store, and for $15 you have a reader which supports these hacking utilities. You can also acquire special cards to make clones. In MIFARE Classic cards they have a unique number which is in the memory which cannot be changed. But Chinese clone solutions allow us to do so. So in 2009, the NXP company, the actual owner of the brand that had released a MIFARE Plus chip, which fixed the random number sensor. They added the AS support, and they left the MIFARE Classic emulation reverse compatibility. So what would be the mode that it is applicable here to MIFARE Classic? Neither the integrator or developers wanted to change anything. So they left everything like it was. The biggest projects, Troika, Strelka, Podorozhnik here in Moscow, are using MIFARE Plus chips, but they're using the MIFARE Classic principles. And I found a very interesting reply by some of the officials in St. Pete. They bought MIFARE Plus cards, and they wanted to do that in order to avoid the counterfeited tickets, but they left the same protocol there. So how do we expose MIFARE Plus in MIFARE Classic? Previously we could not be moving anywhere and be hacking the cards, but the actual protocol is hacked. So we take a sniffer, we buy something in the internet store for $150 or $80, or we do it ourselves. So on the internet there are plenty of specs available on how to do it on your own. Those who would like to economize can do it on your own. And then we take a look at the protocol. We come up to the validator, so we go on a bus, we use our Troika card, and we apply a sniffer, which is a small box. And then we go back home, and while drinking our coffee we just spend just 3 minutes to process the data, and with the utilities available, hack it and get the key. And we've hacked the system. But my story is about something else. Some time ago the Bank of Moscow had released Мой проездной application, which allows you to acquire electronic tickets. I was quite shocked at first by the introduction of that application. Yes, it's convenient, but knowing how the vulnerabilities are in MIFARE Classic, I was quite surprised that they launched it, because we know that, take a look at the protocol, you don't need to go anywhere. We just take a smartphone with the application installed, and it is used as a reader. But I went even further and I started thinking, actually now we can even do without the hardware-based sniffer, because knowing the Android-based sniffers principles, you just need to use the key in the open way. It's the open key, so the keys are stored either in application, or the application gets the keys from the server via the internet. We decompile the application and we see that we don't have the keys there, we receive them via the internet. So we need to go through the HTTP traffic to pull out the keys, not the Warshare, because it's not capable of coping with SCL. So we use some proxy applications that can decrypt cell traffic, and we use the man-in-the-middle attack principle. We put a certificate, we decrypt the traffic, and we see that the applications use the URLs, read transport car, and we see the replies. Keys, the sector number, value type A, type B. That's what we have had to decrypt. So I've painted them out so that you don't really understand what would be the actual key here, the Troika card. How do we decrypt it? We take a look and it looks like, reminds us about the base 64. That's not the encryption, it's just a coding. We encode it, and we have a 6-byte key that we use to the card. We download the Google Play MyFreeClassic application, and voila, our assumption was correct. In a very simple way, without actually using any hardware sniffers, we have acquired keys to the transport cards of the Moscow city rapid transit system, and we use our rapid transit systems here for free, but I warn you that it's a felony, so please do not do that. What's the conclusion? The conclusion would be that the crypto protocol of the card is unsafe, but everyone keeps on using it because of the various reasons, and the application itself is not safe. You can actually find other ways to safely send the keys to the application. You can start sessions with a time limit, and I have other examples of other services in other cities and towns that do it in a more protected way. So as far as we can see, to expose a larger system, you just need to have an Android-based smartphone, and to have clones, you just need to spend less than $1. Even a schoolboy can pull it off. It does not require any specific knowledge. I'm done. Thank you very much. The reminder once again, you should not do that. And I'm open for questions, although I think it's all straightforward here. Yes, please. What about our Q&As? Maybe some of you have questions. What you mentioned, we have the anti-collision here. It's not related to the anti-collision, so it just chooses one card and that's all. So basically we are talking about troika exposure with the use of the reader. So maybe you are referring to this famous picture when there was one guy in the metro using a terminal. So you can use it in some conditions. Moreover, you can add banking cards, because I was just referring to the troika use case. In actual fact, the problem here is that you are aware of the keys. The troika keys are not diverse. So by knowing the key from one card, you know the keys from all of the cards. But the keys should be diverse, and each card should have their own specified key. By hacking one card, we could be able to pull out a key and make clones. And seems like that every hacker is aware of such keys. But if the keys are unknown, if you don't have a hardware sniffer, if you don't know where to find such keys, you can do it in 5 minutes time by just using your Android-based smartphone. That's right. That's right. That's exactly what they're doing. By tracking that, it's not possible to do, and there is a time lag, which can be about 24 hours. And you know how many writes you can do for 24 hours. They will be banned by the unique ID number, but you can actually take yet another card and do just the same thing. Do exactly the same. And you can buy and spend 50 rubles for that card, make a clone, and use it for as many rides as you can do, up to 1,000 rubles. You can find it even for less money, and where such people find them is a separate question. Thank you very much, I'm done. I would like to give the floor to the next speaker.